That way, you'll be ready to go to cram school tomorrow and study seriously. Be serious, Shiori. Yes, that's serious. Oh, hello, Nesties. You might be wondering why we're on this CG. It's because they're grieving the loss of all my time I spent trying to get this episode started. I was testing out some new ways of recording going forward with the Elgato, which I think actually will work better, I'll be honest. Unless this is straight up like a like an OBS thing that's happening. But every time I tabbed into UsoNatsu or tabbed into this specific CG, VTS started lagging a ton, which is really strange, and it hasn't done that before. But instead of recording both VTS and the game in one canvas in OBS, I actually was running two instances of OBS, each recording them at their native resolution, as opposed to having one stretched out like video that has both of them, and it does not appear to be going well. I started recording this episode like an hour ago, and we're still here. Welcome back to episode 22 of UsoNatsu. We're in chapter 15, the summer romance born from a lie. Last time, as we just saw in the CG, Shiori and Kaoru went to legally distinct SeaWorld and found out that the whales were dead, and she was very sad, and then they decided to give us a slow pan shot of their thighs on the train. And then they went to a beach, and they were talking about stuff on the beach at night. And around the world, thousands of film students dropped to their knees and cried out in pain. Anyway, let's load the last save. There's number 22. Also, this is an amazing shot. If I don't use this you'll know, because this will be the thumbnail if I use it for the thumbnail. But if it is the thumbnail, I actually made a couple things last week from last week's episode. This will either be the thumbnail for this episode, or I'm changing the thumbnail for last week's episode 21, just to do some stuff with YouTube. But I did make a version of the alternate thumbnail for last week that I made into like a wallpaper. I just made it 4K instead. And then I made a second version where I accidentally did something I wasn't trying to do, and it looked funny, so I kept it. But I might post those somewhere or put them up in the Patreon after this episode, depending on what we get here. This could be the last episode. I'm really hoping this is not the last episode of the game, because I have not started Somnium Files yet. But let's go here. We'll have to read back what happened, because I don't really remember. Oh yeah, she's talking about her memories and how they should stay where they belong. It all started the day of our parent-teacher conferences. I explained how I hadn't been able to meet the deadline for the survey, and that I wanted to think about it over summer break. Oh, the music's cut out. A flashback? Yes, this is the 19th, so I think we've gone back in time now.
これはどういうことかな、しおり。進路調査表に何も書いていないじゃないか。
Bro, I don't even remember what his voice was. I think it was Bakula. What is the meaning of this, Shiori? Don't tell me you didn't write anything down on your survey.
私はまだ自分の進路が決められないんです。本当にやりたいことが見つかっていないんです。
I still don't know what I want to be. I want to figure out what it is I really want to do.
みなぎさんの選択科目は国立医学部にも対応できるし、仮に進路が変わっても、大丈夫そうね。
Asahi's voice, it's been so long. Minaki-san's current electives will allow her to get into a public medical school, and even if she changes her mind about that, well, I'm sure she'll be fine.
芸術系や専門学校に行きたいとなると話は変わってくるかもしれないけど、それも一つの選択だと思う。美大目指すなら知り合いも紹介できるしね。
I feel like they just added this darken filter for Asahi. I feel like it wasn't there for Shiori and her dad. I feel like she showed up and they're like, time to make it dark. If she decides she wants to go attend an art or vocational school, then that'll be another matter, but those are both still viable options. And if art is something she's interested in, I know someone I can introduce you to who can help.
みなぎさんだったら何も心配してないから。このまま勉強を続けるんだったら、進路選択にもう少し時間がかかったとしても、しっかりやりたいこと見つけましょう。
With her grades, she has nothing to worry about, as long as she keeps working as hard as she has been. She needs to She needs to find out what her passion is in life, even if it takes her a little longer to figure that out.
今の話を聞いて、担任としてはみなぎさんの自主性に期待してみるという方針もいいと思っています。お父様はいかがでしょうか？
After hearing from her, I feel as her homeroom teacher that it might help her in her future if she gained a bit more independence. What do you think, Mr. Minagi?
ご迷惑をおかけしてしまって申し訳ありません、先生。
I apologize for the trouble she's caused you by not completing the survey on time.
私としては、娘が国立医学部を受験するという方針を変えるつもりはありません。娘は自分の夢や目標を持っているわけではありませんから。
As her father, I have no intention of letting my daughter deviate from her original plan of entering medical school. She has no dreams or goals of her own. Dang, he really roasted me like that.
ですが、お父様。
I like how they say dad. They've now translated the same things, two different things. That's funny. Bullying your daughter? Not cool, Naomasa. But, Dad...
寛大なご配慮をどうもありがとうございました。ですが父として、娘に無用な苦労をさせたくはないのです。
I appreciate your consideration, but as her father, I know what's best for her, and I won't allow her to be burdened by any unnecessary hardship. Editor Neon, you know that song from Tangled, Mother Knows Best? You need to do Father Knows Best. Just put his face over What's-Her-Face's face.
Trust me, pet. Mother knows best. Mother knows best. Listen to your mother. It's a scary world out there. Mother knows best. One way or another, something will go wrong, I swear. Ruffians, thugs, poison ivy, quicksand, cannibals and snakes, the plague. Oh, yes.
I know that's gonna probably be a lot of work, but you should do it. Hopefully, future Neon does that for all of you.
あとは家庭でしっかり言い聞かせますから。それでは、失礼します。
We'll talk about this later at home. Now then, if you'll excuse us. And then he turns into a bat. Oh wait, he can't turn into a bat and fly out the window. It's daytime. Unless he's a daywalker.
お父様もあなたを心配しておっしゃっているんだと思う。でも私はみなぎさんのことも応援してるから、何でも気軽に相談してね。
Minagi-san, I'm sure your father's just worried about you, but I'm here to support you in whatever way I can. You can always come talk to me whenever you want.
いえ、私が間違っていました。申し訳ありませんでした。
No, I was wrong. I apologize for everything. You were wrong, Kadu's parents. You should call CPS. Get them involved.
三者面談での態度はどういうつもりだったんだい？
What were you trying to pull during the parent-teacher conference, Shiori?
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
僕は謝罪が欲しいんじゃない。ただ質問の回答を求めているだけだ。どういうつもりで国立大の医学部という進路を書かなかったのかと聞いているんだよ。
I'm gonna roll that one back. Bro, what was that?
僕は謝罪が欲しいんじゃない。ただ質問の回答を求めているだけだ。どういうつもりで国立大の医学部という進路を書かなかったのかと聞いているんだよ。
Oh, that's really funny for some reason. I don't want your apologies. I just want you to answer my question. Why didn't you write down that you're planning on going to medical school? We need to supply a consistent source of blood. Hope it is not Chris's blood. I'm sorry.
話にならないな。いいかい？しおりの行動は先生に迷惑をかけたんだ。提出期限を破り、さらには余計な仕事まで増やしてしまってね。
Elfather. I should start calling him a lather. You're like a broken record. Are you even listening? Your actions directly inconvenienced your teacher. You missed the deadline and caused more work for her. See, like how there's no, I gotta say though, like how there's no music here, this makes it so much better. Can you imagine if they were playing that violin right now? Man, I would lose it.
いつも教えているだろう。人の迷惑になることはしてはいけないと。
How many times do I have to tell you? Don't make trouble for other people.
しおりが人に迷惑をかけると、親である僕が責任を問われるんだ。僕が恥をかくことになるんだ。
Whenever you do, I, as your parent, am held accountable. I am the one who's ultimately humiliated. I guess you could say that it is the super high school level humiliation. What? I know.
これまでのしおりはもっときちんとしていたはずだろうに。そうか。新しい友達を作りでもしたのかな？
The Shiori I know would have gotten that survey taken care of with plenty of time to spare. I see. This is because of that new friend of yours.
廊下ですれ違った。以前に駅で会ったこともあった。立花さんと言ったかな？
The girl I passed in the hall, the same one we bumped into at the station. Tachibana-san, was it?
とても真面目そうには見えなかった。自分に悪影響を与える人とは友達になってはいけないといつも教えているのを忘れてはいないだろう。
She didn't strike me as someone who takes her life seriously. I'm always telling you not to be friends with people who could have a negative impact on your future. Don't tell me you forgot. Elfather, once again.
いいかい？何度も言っているが、価値観の合わない相手とは話すだけでも足を引っ張られる。
Excuse me. Are you listening? I told you many times before, but people who don't share your values will only drag you down. He's starting to...
分かってる。お父さんが教えてくれた通りにしてるよ。
I just finished speedrunning, watching Bertoluzzi play Telltale Walking Dead Season 2. I say speedrun because I like fast forwarded through like all of the episodes because like low-key Season 2 is garbage. I think it's easily the worst season of Telltale Walking Dead. Quite possibly the worst Telltale game that they have ever made. It is such an awful story. It doesn't make any sense. But aside from that, I heard Arvo talk like 2 times, and I'm like, my name is Arvo. Blah. I need to help my sick sister and shoot Clementine with a shotgun. Or something, I don't know. I feel like that's bleeding into his I'm a vampire. Blah. I know. I'm doing exactly what you taught me.
担任の朝日先生と少しだけ2人で話す時間があってね。しおりの学友について教えてくれた。
I had the chance to talk with your homeroom teacher, Miss Asahi. She told me a little about your friends at school.
立花さんと井ノ原さんという2人とよく話していると聞いたよ。それも楽しそうに話していると。
She mentioned that you often talk with Tachibana-san and Inohara-san, that you seem to enjoy your little conversations.
井ノ原さんは確か僕たちにひどく負担を強いてきた中学の頃からの同級生だったね。他人に迷惑をかける人と友達でいることは言語道断だ。
If I remember correctly, Unohara-san is the one who caused us all those problems when you were in middle school. It seems outrageous to me that you would continue to be friends with someone who inconvenienced others to the degree she did.
まさに人生の障害になる一例。僕の言った通りのことが過去に起きているんだ。しおりは自分が友達だと思っている相手に足を引っ張られているんだよ。
L, father. You can't see it, but I'm doing the L, the forehead L. I'm doing take the L, take the L. This is exactly the sort of thing I've been trying to warn you about. Just as they created obstacles for you in the past, these so-called friends of yours will hold you back and destroy your future. The future foundation, blah.
僕が何を言おうとしているかはもうわかるね。
Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
はい。
Wait, what did they say? Oops, that's not what I
僕が
meant.
何を言おうとしているかはもうわかるね。
Okay. He did say what I thought he was going to say.
はい。
I was going to make a Phoenix Wright joke, and then I was like, wait, if he said something else, then I'm not going to do it. But you'll have to figure that one out on your own. Fade to black. We never fade to black. What was that? I mean, I know, I'm not like in the game. Something just went like ga-dum, ga-dum. I think it was a notification on my phone that shook the stand it's on, and it went through the desk. I think that's what it was. Also, totally unrelated note. I'm kind of hungry, so I have this can of Pringles, one of those like mini cans, the travel cans of Pringles, and I'm gonna open them, and I might eat them. So, what's probably gonna happen is I'm gonna leave this part in because it's funny, me trying to get this can open. But I've made a marker, and Editor Neon, you should just like skip. You should cut all of this out, or maybe leave it on for Patreon, although I don't think anyone's gonna want to subscribe to the Patreon to watch a cutout section where I'm eating Pringles. But you know, some of y'all weird like that. Welcome back, YouTube. Welcome back, everybody. If that ends up being consigned to the depths of oblivion because it's just not good content. Yeah. She's auditioning to be Link, I see. I assume she's hitting something. The real question is she hitting herself or is she hitting something in her room? Or is she running away? That didn't sound like footsteps. That sounded like hitting. Like strikes, you know? Which, if you know, you know. It fits perfectly with this scenery, you know? The strikes, Shiori, and her adolescence, and strikes or blows. If you don't get it, you don't get it. I'm not going to explain it. She doesn't hold back. You could say that there's nothing holding her back. The feeling behind her words still fresh and raw. So fresh, in fact, that she's able to recollect the entire conversation between herself and her father, word for word. That was only one of the triggers that led to her running away from home. She takes a deep breath before continuing. There's a Pentagon reference in there somewhere. I'm not looking for it.
私の決断を話したところで、現実は何も変わりませんでした。何かあるたびに怒られて、あの時のことがフラッシュバックするんです。
Despite making my intentions clear, my reality remained unchanged. Whenever he gets angry like that, I flash back to what happened in the past. Hell, father. Call CPS, call the police, get her out of there.
痛みがないはずなのに、体がついて気持ち悪くなって、どうしようもない気持ちになるんです。
Even though he's not physically hurting me, my body goes numb and I feel sick as I'm filled with this feeling of helplessness. Yeah, that's what we call verbal abuse. Call the police.
それは私が悪い子だから。そう思って自分で自分を痛めつけたら落ち着くんです。いつからか私はそういう風になっていました。
It's my own fault for being bad. When I start thinking that way, excuse me. Hurting myself helps make me feel better. I'm not sure when it started, but that's how things are for me now. Stop it. Get some help. Call a therapist, then call CPS. Don't call CPS. Well, maybe call CPS about this. Don't call the police about this. They will not help. Go call CPS. Go get a therapist.
刃物で切ってみたこともありましたけれど、硬いもので自分を叩くのが一番気持ちが楽になりました。
I've tried cutting myself with a blade before, but hitting myself with something hard works best to calm myself down. Once again, I'm gonna keep beating this dead horse. Stop it. Get some help. Go seek help. Go seek professional help. Call CPS. If you or someone you know is like this, go contact a professional. Seek out a helpline. I'm not gonna say which ones because I don't know them, and I'm not gonna try and give out false information. You can look them up. I see. Once again, still fitting great with the set we have here. This is working on multiple levels in ways that the film students will cry about. Her reason for hurting herself matches up with what Mide-san told me the other day. Thanks to that forewarning, I'm not completely shocked to hear what Shiori is telling me now. Still, hearing her admit to it so candidly leaves me at a loss for words. I guess you could say that words fail. Words fail. This isn't an appropriate time for this joke. Any response I try to come up with vanishes from my mind on seeing Shiori's pained smile. I'm not in any position to understand or judge what she's going through.
お父さんの言葉の意味は、もう陸や立花さんと遊ぶな、関わるなというものでした。お父さんに言われたら、従う以外の生き方を私は知りません。
My father was telling me not to spend any more time with you or Riku, to avoid you entirely, and up until now, disobeying him was simply out of the question for me.
声は出なくて、足も動かなくて、心ではなくて、体が従ってしまうんです。
I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. My body acted on autopilot, doing as I was told.
それで夏休みに入って私に連絡するのをやめたんだね。
So that's why you stopped texting me when summer break started.
はい、おっしゃる通りです。
Yes, exactly. I want to tell her that the way her father treats her is terrible. But I know if I do, Shiori will deny it. She's being gaslit. She's not really being gaslit, as we discussed last time, or as we found out last time. Well, maybe she is. I don't know. I still think she is. She might not be like dictionary definition gaslit, but... And her subsequent words only prove me correct.
お父さんは私を医学部に入れようとしました。それはお兄ちゃんが目指していたのと同じ道で、そもそもお兄ちゃんの進路はお父さんに言われて決めたものだと聞きました。
My father wanted me to get into medical school because it's what my brother had been studying so hard for. Though I later found out my father had originally made that decision for him as well. It's like a way less... Well, no, I'm not going to say way less, but it's like a less messed up version of one of the character arcs in Zenki Zero, if you can believe that. Yeah, I still think that You-Know-Who is still like a level above what's happening to Shiori. I do think that that's what's happening. Well... It's kind of tough to say. If you want to know what happens, you can either play Zenki Zero, go watch the times I streamed it, or vote to have me play Zenki Zero next after Somnium Files.
私は勉強が得意でしたし、芸術やスポーツで成功したいという夢もありませんでしたから、お父さんの言うことは正しいことなんです。
Since I was so good at studying, and so hopeless at creative and athletic pursuits, my father's decision made sense to me. Did somebody say hopeless? Not now, Nagito.
間違っているのは私なんです。素直に進路調査票を書けなかった私が。
was the one in the wrong. I was the one who couldn't bring myself to fill out a simple survey. I was the one who took a potato crisp and ate it.
What? For once, Shiori is letting all her emotions show. I guess you could call her Shiori. I can feel the pain. I can hear the pain and stress in her voice. Seeing her hands emphasizing her words with such ferocity, I silently take them into my grasp.
立花さん、ごめんなさい。私。
Tachibana-san, I'm so sorry.
大丈夫。手握ってないとまた自分のことを傷つけちゃいそうだったから。今はひとまず手つないでよ。
No, it's fine. I'm just afraid that if I don't hold your hands, you'll hurt yourself. So for now, just hold hands with me, okay?
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
She pauses, taking several short breaths to steady herself before continuing with her story. I squeeze her hands a little tighter as I listen. She tells me about the day after the parent-teacher conferences. How about what happened after I decided on a whim to stop by Shiori's house, discovered her slumped on the ground with a high fever, and then left later in the evening. Excuse me.
僕が言いたいことはわかるね。
You already know what I'm about to say, don't you?
しおりは昨日に引き続き他人に迷惑をかけた。それだけでなく、僕は立花さんには関わるなと言ったはずなのに家にあげた。
All you did was cause problems yesterday. Not only that, but you even let Tachibana-san inside our house after I told you to stop associating yourself with her.
それは、
That wasn't... I mean...
聞いていない言い訳はしなくていい。僕は今、事実を述べているだけだ。
I don't want to hear your excuses. I'm telling you the facts. I verified them on Snopes.com.
他人に集体を見せて迷惑をかけただけでなく、僕の言うことも聞かなかったというわけだ。言いつけを守らないから体調管理もままならず熱を出すんだ。
Not only did you inconvenience others with your shameful conduct, but you directly disobeyed me. You even ended up with a fever because you weren't taking care of yourself properly.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
謝罪は求めていない。親である僕の責任でもあるからね。
I'm not looking for an apology. As your parent, I have to share the responsibility for your actions, you know.
実を言うと、やるべきことをやっている限り、しおりにはなるべく自由に過ごしてほしいと思っていた。
To tell you the truth, I wish I could give you more freedom to do what you want, but first you have to do what you need to do. It's not me, it's you.
僕は給料から必要な分を抜いた残りをしおりに渡して、家計を一任していた。
Which is why I've always given you most of my disposable income to keep this household running.
それはしおりに家事を任せているからであり、しおりに金銭的な制限を可能な限りしたくなかったからだ。
Since I've been leaving the state of the house in your hands, I wanted to make sure you had access to whatever finances you might have needed.
だからこそ、衣食住において貧しい思いをさせた記憶はないと思っているよ。
As far as I'm aware, you have never wanted for anything, be it food, clothing, or shelter.
もっとも、口座の管理権は僕も持っているし、定期的に確認もしている。ここ最近は出費も目立っていたようだけれど、他に問題が見受けられなかったから諌めなかった。
As the original owner of the bank account, I checked it regularly, and while I did notice you'd been spending more money than usual lately, I never said anything, since there hadn't seemed to be any other problems.
仮に、その出費がしおりの足を引っ張る人間との付き合いのためならば、 感化することはできないね。
But if that money is being used on someone who's holding you back from success, then I have to put my foot down.
でも成績は下がってない。
But I've been maintaining my grades.
なんだい？それが一時的でないと言い切れるのかい？
Is that so? And how can I be sure that won't change?
いいえ、ありません。
It won't, I swear.
結論は変わらない。立花さんや井ノ原さんとはもう関わるなということだ。彼女たちは将来の目標もなく、大した努力もしていないだろう。
Every time I look over here and I blink, my whole model goes gunk, gunk.
Regardless, you need to stop associating with people like Tachibana-san and Inohara-san. Neither of those girls have any goals for the future, and I certainly don't see them making any effort to change that. After all, they are not Lucina.
彼女たちは幸いにも家が裕福だから食うに困ることはないとは思うが、決して大きな成功はできない。実質的には社会の落後者でしかない。
Oh, I thought I was going to say more.
Their families are wealthy enough that they'll never have to worry about where their next meals might come from, but they'll spend their whole lives achieving nothing. The fact of the matter is, they're parasites. They're probably waiting in our basement right now, waiting until we go to sleep to steal food from the fridge. What?
彼女たちに影響されて、しおりまで落語者の仲間入りをすることは見過ごせない。昨日は明確に言葉にしていなかったからね。今、関わるのはやめると、はっきり約束しなさい。
I can't stand here and watch as they drag you down with them. Perhaps I didn't make myself clear yesterday. I need you to promise me that you'll stop hanging out with those girls. I don't want to be killed in the middle of a house party.
What?
はい。
I promise. Wait, are you sure you're my dad and not Tachibana's dad?
家計費の管理もやり方を変えよう。今後は必要に応じて経費として手渡す方式に変えようか。
We're going to change how we manage the household budget moving forward. I've decided I'll only be giving you the amount I feel is necessary to cover your daily expenses.
ちょうどしおりの塾の日数も増やそうと思っていたところだ。夏休みの途中からでも夏期講習に参加することはできるようだからね。
What was that? My tracking stopped.
While we're at it, I've been thinking about increasing the number of days you go to cram school. We should still be able to sign you up for a summer class even though your break already started.
勉強に集中すればしおりのマイナスになる行動に時間と金銭を浪費することもなくなるだろう。いいね。
If you focus on your schoolwork, you won't end up wasting your time or money on nonsense like Grand Blue Fantasy that won't get you anywhere in life. Fair enough?
It's gotta come full circle.
Yes. Even though they have an Eva collab right now.
わかればいい。具合が悪いのであればしっかり休むことだ。
As long as you understand. Now, if you're not feeling well, then you should get some rest. Nenasai.
そして明日はしっかりと塾に行くんだ。
That way, you'll be ready to go to cram school tomorrow and study seriously. Be serious, Shiori. Yes, that's serious.
はい。
Okay.
Oh,
あんなに
L Father. That's gonna be the title of this episode, I think. I think that's gonna be the title of this episode, L Father.
I agreed with everything he said, but inside...
私のせいなのに私がダメだから
I knew it was all my fault, but if I'm such a failure, then what did that make you two?
Like last time, I'm not gonna do this to y'all. I'm not about to go into the mic like that.
Dun, 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 dun.
Her words allow me to envision the scene she's describing in vivid detail. I would never imagine that by taking care of her while she was sick, I ended up causing her freedom to be stripped away.
ごめん、私
I'm so sorry. I blurt out, but Shiori just shakes her head, stopping me. I'm once again reminded of how little I know of the world.
私本当は嬉しかったんです。立花さんが看病して隣にいてくれて。
I was gonna make another reference to the beach, but
I was really happy you were there, having you by my side, taking care of me like that.
でもやっぱり私にとってお父さんの言うことは絶対だったんです。怖い、厳しいという理由ではなくて、やっぱり唯一の家族からの言葉だからなんです。
But to me, my father's word might have been the word of God. I listened to him not because I was afraid, but because those words were spoken by the only family I had left. But now, Tachibana-san, our love is
our love is gone. Can I pull it up? Can I pull that up? We need some heathers. And so he hit his daughter. Tonight their house is something that rhymes with daughter. Let's guarantee they'll never see something that rhymes with daughter. I was meant to be yours. This is a different song. I've taken too much time. I might put it in post. If you heard it, it means that future Neon put it in post.
私をここまで育ててくれて、お金も生活に不自由しないくらいにはあって、もう殴られることもなくなって。
He'd raised me, given me a comfortable life where I wanted for nothing, and he didn't hit me anymore.
I don't think that's a qualifier, Shiori. I think that last one is just something that, like, I don't think there should be a qualifier on that, you know? I'm pretty sure that's then...
厳しくするのも私の将来を思ってのことだと思っていました。だからずっと我慢してきました。
I assumed he was only being so hard on me because he was thinking about me and my future, so I put up with it.
She's starting to use past tense when referring to her feelings about her father. Considering the timeline of her story and the fact that she's no longer in her father's home, I have a feeling I know where things are going. But because I want to learn more about Shiori as a person, I know that I need to let her explain how she reached that conclusion on her own terms.
リクとも立花さんとも遊べないなんて、話すことすら許されないなんて嫌でした。でも私はお父さんに言い返すことはできませんでした。
I hated the idea of not being able to hang out with you and Riku any longer, of not being allowed to even talk with you. But I couldn't disobey my father, and that's why, one night, an alter ego inside of me woke up. She started going to fight club.
どんなに禁止されても夏休みが明ければまた会える。元通りにはならないかもしれないけど大丈夫だって自分に言い聞かせました。
I turned into Tylori Durnagi.
Durdanagi.
Besides, no matter what he said or forbade me from doing, I knew I'd be able to see you after summer break was over. I told myself that things might not go back to the way they were, but it would all work out in the end.
でも立花さんはすぐにまた会いに来てくれました。
But then, when I least expected it, Like something out of a bad rom-com. You showed up again.
After seeing the marks on Shiori's body and suspecting that she'd been physically abused, I'd argued with my parents, blah 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 blah. We all knew, we've been new. But Shiori had stood her ground, blah blah blah. We knew they played that violin for way too long. At that time, that revelation was something I couldn't even imagine, and I was left speechless.
きっとあの日が夏休みに会う最後の機会になると思いました。だから会えてよかったと思いました。
No.
I had been positive that I would never see you again until the end of summer break. So when I saw you, I was happy at first.
そして父の言う通りにしようと気持ちを切り替えようとした私を橘さんの言葉が引き止めました。
But then I remembered what my father had told me, and I was on the verge of burying that happiness deep down inside myself when you said something that stopped me.
嫌だ、終わりにしたくない私。だってこれから始まるんだよ、私たち。
No, I don't want this to end. I mean, things between us have only just begun. We still haven't gotten to the part where we UsoNatsu.
まだ言えてないことあるのに。
There's still something I need to tell you. It's about the fact that McDonald's is putting value back on the menu.
Not sponsored.
やっぱ聞こえてたんだね、あれ。みっともないよね、あんな街中で。
So you did hear me after all. I'm still pretty embarrassed that I acted like that while out in public.
いいえ、あの一言が私のこれまでを全部変えたんです。
Don't be. What you said changed everything. This changes everything.
She tells me that with a smile before her expression turns serious again. She then proceeds to explain every last detail of what happened with her father. It was the day after I stopped by Shiori's house for the last time, the same day I woke up in Mire-san's apartment and headed to the festival together.
今戻ったよ。
I'm back. Blah.
おかえりなさい。
Welcome home.
今日夏期講習の申し込みを済ませてきた。幸い枠がまだ余っていたから来週から週5のコースに参加できる。
Oh, father. I was able to get you signed. What? Oh, I was able to get what? I was able to get what? I was able to get you signed up for that summer class I mentioned earlier. Luckily, there were still seats available, so you'll be going every weekday starting next week. Dad, is something wrong? You're stuttering.
加えて、しおりの成績ならば上級のコースに参加できるとのことだよ。よかったじゃないか。
What's more, because your grades are so good, I was able to get you into the advanced level. Isn't that great?
Wait, hold on. We're gonna do a rendition of this. What's more, your grades are so...
何より、しおりを腐らせる連中と無駄な時間を過ごすこともなくなるだろう。
Best of all, it means you won't have time to waste on those worthless losers who've been dragging you down.
いや、
No.
聞こえないな。もう一度言ってもらってもいいかな。
I couldn't hear what you said. Could you repeat that? I can't hear you.
いや。
No.
どういうことかな。落ち着いて話してみなさい。
Oh, losing a pineapple under the sea. What's the matter with you? Calm down and talk to me like a normal person, like me, who physically and mentally abuses his daughter. What?
説明することはないよ。私はお父さんの言う通りにできない。もうしたくない。
I have nothing to say. I can't simply do what you tell me to anymore. I refuse.
自分が何を言っているのか 理解しているのかい？
Do you understand what you're saying right now?
はい。三者面談で話したことと変わってない。私は自分がどうしたいか自分で決めたい。だから夏期講習も行きません。
Yes, I still feel the same way I did at the parent-teacher conference. I want to decide my own future, so you can take that summer class and shove it up your pale-ass, blood-sucking ass. What? That's not what I clicked on.
しおり！
私の考えは変わらない。だからお願いします。お父さん。
My decision hasn't changed, so please, Dad.
親の言うことは聞きなさい。僕はしおりの将来を案じて言っているんだ。わかるね。
A child listens to their parents. Everything I do and say is out of concern for your future. Understand?
わかります。でも私だって一人の人間だよ。
I do, but I am my own person.
直樹がそんなことを言ったことはなかった。直樹はもっと素直だったろうに。
Naoki would have never said anything like that. He was always so much more obedient than you.
私はお兄ちゃんじゃない。
I'm not Naoki. Why would you even name your kid after a type of, Italian dumpling type thing? I know that's not what it is. I know that's not what it is. I know that's Gnocchi. Gnocchi.
今までずっとお兄ちゃんみたいになりたいって、お父さんを喜ばせたいって思って頑張ってきたよ。
I've worked my butt off until now trying to become just like Naoki, because I wanted to make you happy.
でも自分のやりたいことを見つけたい。自分の気持ちに正直になりたいって思ったの。自分の意志に気づいた。気づけた。これからの私はその思いを大事にしたい。
Excuse me. But I want to find my own path in life, to be honest with myself. I've realized that I have free will and that I can make my own decisions. I cherish my newfound freedom, and I intend to hold on to it.
くだらないことを言うのはやめなさい。
Stop talking nonsense.
これまでだったらお父さんの言葉で納得してた。でももう
The way I once was, I would have listened to you without a second thought. But now...
しおり！
Did they recycle that?
もう私は変わったよ。今までの私と同じじゃない。
I've changed. I'm not the same person I used to be.
しおりの意見は聞いていない。しおりは僕の言う通りにしていればいい。
I don't care what you think. Just do what you're told, Shiori.
直樹は僕に逆らっただろう。僕が距離を取りなさいと言った人間と付き合いを持った。勉強が大事な時期にもかかわらず、恋愛なんてくだらないことに時間を割いた。
I just realized he doesn't have a tie on. Your brother disobeyed me once. He fraternized with someone I told him to keep his distance from. He wasted his time on that stupid relationship instead of focusing on what mattered, studying to secure his future foundation.
その結果は言うまでもないだろう。
And look how that turned out. He drowned himself in the ocean like a loser.
わかったよ。
I understand.
ああ、わかればいい。部屋に戻って勉強を続けなさい。
Good. Now go to your room and get some more study time in.
私わかった。過去にとらわれているのはお父さんも同じだったんだね。
I understand everything now. I've been trapped in the past. And so are you. You're the loser.
なんだい。
What's that supposed to mean?
私と同じだったんだって全然気づかなかった。
I never realized how similar we both were.
何を言っているんだい。
I have no idea what you're talking about.
お父さんは自分のやり方しか知らないから怖かったんだよね。私がお父さんの知らない生き方をしていなくなっちゃうのが嫌だったんだよね。
You're scared because this is the only life you know. You're afraid that if I follow a different path, a different way of life, I'll disappear, and you want to prevent that at any cost.
親に向かってその言い方は何だ。僕を諭そうとしたところで考えは変わらない。
How dare you speak to your own father like that, trying to blame me for...
諭す。違う。私はただお父さんに言いたいだけ。やっとお父さんの気持ちが分かったの。
Blame you? No, you're wrong. I just want you to know, I finally understand why you're the way you are.
お父さんの自己憐憫に私を巻き込まないでください。
But I'd appreciate it if you left me out of your pity party. Stay where you belong, in my memories.
何を言う。的外れだよ。
Where is this coming from? This isn't like you at all.
お父さんの心の傷を癒すために私のこれからの人生は使えないよ。
I can't spend the rest of my life trying to heal the wounds in your heart.
お父さん、だから私。
Oh, I'm sorry, Shiori.
That's why.
終わりだ。
Enough. Oh. New CG. I missed the previous one. Man, I should have had NVIDIA replay on.
話は終わりにしよう。しおりは今興奮している。僕は明日早朝から仕事の付き合いで出かけるが、しおりは休みのはずだから、一人で頭を冷やしていなさい。
I do have one clean frame of that CG in the replay.
This conversation is over. You're clearly not thinking straight. I have to leave early tomorrow morning for work. Since you have had the day off, I expect you to take some time to get your head on straight. Get it? Not thinking straight? Ha ha ha. I'm a vampire comedian.
Oh,
やだ。もうお父さんの言う通りにはしない。
No, I'm telling you, I won't just do whatever you want anymore. I'm breaking the habit tonight.
she'll paint it on the walls.
しおり。
And he's the one that falls. He'll never fish again. And why isn't the text advancing? Oh, he just keeps saying it over and over again. Like a weirdo. L father, take the L. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun.
こういう経緯で私は家を飛び出してきちゃいました。この日にお父さんの言葉に従ったら一生状況が変わらない気がしたんです。
So that's how I ended up running away from home. I felt like if I continued doing what he told me to do, I'd remain trapped in that life forever.
でも一人で街に出てみたら感情がぐちゃぐちゃになって不安になって何もできませんでした。
But once I was out in the city by myself, my emotions were in such a mess and I was so anxious that I couldn't seem to do anything.
そこに私が通りかかった。よかった、本当に。偶然しおりに会えて。
And then I came along. It was an incredibly lucky break for both of us that I managed to find you like that.
私も嬉しかったです。でもすぐには自分の気持ちに気づけなかったんです。
I'm happy things turned out that way as well, even if I wasn't sure about how I felt about it at the time.
立花さんが私を連れて行ってくれなかったらきっと警察に保護されて家に帰って元通りだったと思います。さっきお話しした通りどこかで望んでもいましたから。
If you hadn't found me and taken me to that hotel, I assumed the police would have brought me home, where my life would have returned to normal, which, as I mentioned, was something a part of me had been hoping for.
She's speaking in a lighter tone than when she was recounting the events in her home life that brought her here. Shiori's inner turmoil is one thing I can definitely relate to.
しおりはさ、お父さんに言ったんだよね。お父さんも過去に囚われてるんだって。
So you told your father that he was also stuck in the past, huh? Just like those MasterCard commercials.
リクと立花さんと。いえ
I think it's
最終的には
Discover,
やっぱ
actually.
り立花さんのおかげでお父さんのことが分かったんです。
It's thanks to you and Riku. No, in the end, it was mostly thanks to you, Tachibana-san, that I was able to understand my father.
I don't know if that's true. Then again, I'm sure that seeing things through someone else's eyes has been important in helping Shiori understand her situation. Though, right now, we've got those ocean eyes.
この
Those
数日
ocean eyes.
私の家出の経緯や理由、そしてその時に思っていることについて立花さんに話せなくてごめんなさい。
I'm really sorry that I wasn't able to talk to you about any of this over the past few days. The reason why I ran away from home and the events that led
Up to my decision not to mention what I was going through my head. I'm scared.
一言で言えば疲れてしまったんです。
I couldn't go any higher
体
with
力
that
的なこ
voice.
とだけではなくて、お
ocean
父さんの
eyes.
口論になって全部出し切ったような気持ちになって無気力になって
You really know how to make
I can't do it.
If I had to sum up how I feel, it would be exhausted. Not just physically, but mentally as well. Standing up to my father took everything I had. I felt completely drained afterwards.
ううん。話してくれてありがとう。私もさ、家出してミレイさんの家にかくまってもらった時、気持ちの整理とかの時間が必要で、どうしていいかなんて分かんなかった。
I'm just glad you eventually opened up. When I ran away from home and stayed at Mide-san's apartment, I remember I had no idea what to do next, and I needed time to process my emotions.
ミレイさんですか。
Mayday-san, desu ka?
いや、ほら、先生。下月先生のこと。
Oh, Sensei, Miss Shimotsuki.
はい、そうですよね。
Right, of course.
I realized that I'd never used Mide-san's first name in front of Shiori before. Of course, I still haven't told her anything about Mide-san admitting her feelings for me. Bringing up now would only make things more complicated. Why you gotta go make things so complicated? Life's just the subject.
さ、
She's changing the subject.
Anyway,
はい。
Yes?
this is such a good image.
Yes?
どうする？これから。
What's your plan now? I know it's not an easy topic to talk about, especially with everything she's just told me. But it's something she's gonna have to figure out sooner rather than later. Which is why I tried to make the question sound as lighthearted and casual as possible, like it's wearing jeans. I'm sure she's already thought about it herself, but still.
家に帰ります。帰りますけれど。
I'm going home. I have to go, but
うん。
But?
私は家を出ます。
but then I'm leaving.
すぐにできるかはわかりません。けれどお父さんにしっかりとそのことを伝えます。
I don't know if I can leave right away, but I'm gonna make it crystal clear to my father what I plan to do.
家出して立花さんの思い
W
出の地
Shiori.
に行って
W
空っ
Shiori.
ぽの水槽を見ていろんなことを思い出しました。
Running away from home, going on this memory tour with you, and seeing that empty tank made me remember a lot of things.
お父さんとの思い出、辛かったことだけじゃなくて楽しかったことも全部。
Like all the memories I have of my father, not all of which are painful. I remembered the good times we shared as well.
でも私は水槽の中で死にたくはありません。
But I don't want to die in a fish tank.
Shiori states her intentions firmly and clearly. Those simple words hold incredible significance. They contain the weight of her entire life up until this point, from trying to become like your brother, to going on the whole memory tour with myself and Riku, to fighting with her father and ultimately running away from home, and Neon's actually going to roll this one back because he wants to get a screenshot.
でも私は水槽の中で死にたくはありません。
Blah blah blah.
しおりが思うなら、決めたならそれ以上の答えはないよねきっと。
If that's what you want, if that's the decision you've made, then I know it's what's right for you.
怖いです。本音は今は暴力を振るわれていないからといってこの先は分かりません。頭の中に記憶がこびりついて剥がれないんです。
I'm scared. I'm really scared. I might not be in any imminent danger, physical or otherwise, but I have no idea what lies ahead, and I'm haunted by memories that I can't seem to get rid of.
今も思い出すと気持ちがざわざわして落ち着こうとして自分を傷つけようと思っちゃうんです。そうすれば楽になってその繰り返しで。
Oh, when I think back on the past, it stresses me out so much that all I want to do is hurt myself until I can calm down. I'll feel better for a while, and then the cycle will repeat itself.
でももうそんな自分でいられません。だって
But I can't keep living like this anymore. I mean,
家を出たいなんて話したらどうなるかわかりません。でももう限界なんです。
I have no idea what'll happen when I tell him I need to move out. But, look, I've had all I can take.
Shiori raises her voice until she's crying out in anguish. It's been 4 years since her father physically abused her, yet she remains in a constant state of fear. She can't just relax and move on now that the violence has stopped. Even if he never punches or kicks her again, her broken heart will never be the same. I know that's a different song.
幸せなことだけだった頃、楽しいことだけだった頃、私の人生にもありました。私の記憶にもありました。
There was a time in my life when I was happy, when things were good. I remember that time very well.
お母さんもお兄ちゃんもいなくなってしまったけれど、お父さんも変わってしまったけれど、昔みたいに戻れるって思ってたんです。これまでずっと。
My mother and my brother died. My father changed into a completely different person, and yet I continue to hope that things could somehow go back to the way they used to be.
If she were in a different genre, she would be the main character of an Otome regression or reincarnation story where she dies and is unfulfilled in life and then gets sent back in time, where somebody else inhabits her body and gets sent back in time. You know I'm right. You know I'm right.
だからずっと我慢してきたのに、ずっと信じ続けてきたのに。
Hello, Penelope Eckhart. Hello, Violet Vaughn or whatever her name is. Actually, I have the things right here. What is her name? What is her last? I know her name's Vaughn, not Vaughn. I'm just gonna look up. I went over to go find one of the manga, and it's like right on the bottom of all the stacks. I swear I won't bother you again. This is not helpful. I need the names. I need the names. This is just keep saying Violet. Violet who? Who? What is her last name? This is not helpful. This keeps everything I'm finding just says Violet. That's not helpful. Violet. I need to know what her last name is. Okay, whatever.
That's why I put up with it so much for so long. I just kept hoping and hoping.
Did somebody say hope? Not now, Nagito.
きっとこのままじゃお父さんは何も変わらない。変わってくれない。
But now I realize that my father will never change. He'll never be the person I want him to be.
でも私はもう変わったんだよ。変われることに気づいちゃったんだよ。
But I have changed, and I know that I have.
お父さんごめんなさい。私
Dad, I'm so sorry.
お父さん大好き。ありがとう。でももう一緒にはいられない。痛くない。
I love you so much, and I'm grateful to you, but I can't stay with you anymore. I don't want to stay with you anymore. I really don't want to stay at your house.
Neon, please. This is maybe the second worst bit of timing in this entire game. The first one's got to be that time I was being goofy and then they did a hard cut to the two of them standing in front of a grave. Shiori clings to me as she gives in to her emotions. Heavy tears course down her face as she howls in pain, sobbing violently. Her feelings in this moment are beyond my ability to understand, which is why... There. All I can do is hold her in my arms, as I do what I can to keep myself from crying with her. The burden Shiori's been carrying this whole time. Everything she's endured, leaving her with 1 HP. All of it has come crashing down, and she's struggling to put herself back together, which means she's going to get KO'd from the recoil. What? Did you like my mimicry or my lip syncing? I don't have a sad face. The ocean somewhere. No, I need a screenshot of that. The ocean somewhere. I don't have any toggles for that. I only have angry and disgusted. This. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. This is a really good expression, actually. It's a funny face. And that's all. This is also a pretty good one. I like how this one doesn't change like my expressions at all, so I can still just be like, oh, this one look kind of. It looks so stupid. Like in the, if I turn this into a clip, because you're not gonna see any of the stuff I'm doing to take screenshots in BTS. It's just gonna be holding these stupid faces. Anyway, this one actually does change my eyebrows and like my eye shape. So no matter what, even if I smile, I'm still angry. Anyway, back to the game. By the time Shiori has finally run out of tears and calmed down, it's past midnight, and the trains have long since stopped running. I guess you could say it's a quarter past midnight. We probably could have found a hotel to stay at, but we've decided not to. It's a midsummer night. The slightly cooler temperatures along the coastline make being outside bearable. After replenishing our stock of drinks and snacks from the nearby convenience store, we resettle ourselves on the beach.
たくさんお話ししたらお腹空いちゃいましたね。
I'm hungry from all that talking.
さっきサンドイッチ3つも食べてなかった？
Didn't you eat like 3 sandwiches earlier?
お夜食は別腹です。それに温かいものを食べるとなんだか落ち着きます。
Midnight snacks go in a different stomach. Besides, I wanted something warm to help me calm down. You need to calm down, or whatever that song is. She's eating some French fries she brought from the store. You're telling me a French fried this fry? What? Since it's the middle of summer, there wasn't anything like oden or pork buns on sale, but she wanted something hot. I ended up buying myself a hot cafe au lait, though I don't particularly need the help of caffeine to keep me awake right now. I'm gonna keep calling it cafe au lait. Once the fries are about half gone, she begins speaking again, her tone light and casual, like she's wearing jeans.
言いたいことは全部言いました。これが私のこれまでの全部です。きっと
I think I said everything I wanted to say. I say what I wanted to say and let my words come. I'm pretty sure I didn't leave anything out.
じゃあさ、しおりのことを今一番知ってるのは私だね。
Well then, I guess there's no one on earth who knows you better than I do right now.
そうかもしれません。いなくなってしまったお母さんやお兄ちゃんも、中学の頃から一緒にいてくれたリクも、ここまで育ててくれたお父さんも知らない。
That's true. You know more than my mother and brother, who are no longer alive, Riku, who's been with me since middle school, and my father, who's raised me since I was born.
最新版の私は立花さんしか知りませんね。
Only you know everything about me as I am in this moment.
Shiori nibbles awkwardly on another fry, as if embarrassed by what she just said. She takes such small bites that it's hard to believe how much food she can put away.
でも
This is-
嬉しいよ。私しか知らないしおりがいるっていうのはさ。それに今の私だってしおりしか知らないじゃん。あ、一本ちょうだい。
With how much she eats, I think it'd be really funny if Shiori took like really small bites, but she just took them like very fast. You know, so it was like a beaver. It makes me happy to hear I'm the only one who knows everything about you, Shiori. And right now, you're the only one I know this well. What? You're the only one. What? And right now you're the only one I know this well. Oh, can I have a fry? My response ends up making me feel embarrassed as well. Cringe! After watching me eat the salty fry, she steadies herself for what she's about to say next.
立花さんにお話をして終わりじゃないっていうのは分かっています。これからもう一度お父さんと向き合わなくちゃいけません。
I know that our conversation here won't be the end of the story. I'm gonna have to deal with my father again.
私はこれからお父さんと一緒に過ごせない。そのことを伝えなくてはいけません。
I have to tell him that I can't live with him anymore moving forward.
そっか。一応思ったこと。お父さんと話すとき、二人で話さない方がいいと思う。朝日先生とか学年主任の先生とかにいてもらった方がいいと思う。
Right, just a thought, but when you do have that talk, I think it would be best that you aren't alone with him. It might be a good idea to ask Miss Asahi or the year level coordinator to be there too. Seems like a bad idea to be alone with an adult man who's proven himself capable of violence, even if it was in the past. And knowing what Shiori is going to say to him, I think there's a very real chance that he might lash out at her. My father, my mother, and even Mide-san all warned me against letting my emotions get the best of me and confronting him myself because they knew what would happen.
はい。実はもともとこの数日間に朝日先生と学年主任の先生との面談の予定があったんです。お父さんのいない時間に。今こうしているので欠席してしまったんですが。
I know. Actually, Miss Asahi and the coordinator already scheduled a meeting with me for a couple days ago, at a time when my father wouldn't be around. Though I missed it because, well, I'm here instead.
そっか。ちゃんと動いてくれてたんだ。先生たち。
I see. Our teachers can actually do their jobs, huh?
その言い方、やっぱりそうだったんですね。
That's one way to put it, but you're not wrong. She nods before continuing.
橘さんから朝日先生に何かの相談があったのかもしれないとは思っていました。三者面談の内容だけでは学年主任も一緒の面談はやりすぎだって思っていたんです。
I had a feeling that you might have said something to Miss Asahi. It seemed excessive to involve the year-level coordinator based solely on what occurred at my parent-teacher conference.
うん。リクがしおりに迷惑をかけたって後悔してたのを聞いてたから気をつけた。まあ結局私も最初は感情的に動いちゃったけど、ミレイさんにも相談してそのつながりで。
I did. I know how much Riku regrets the way she handled things back in middle school, so I tried to be discreet. Well, I did let my emotions run wild at first, but I talked to Mirei-san, and she reached out to Miss Asahi. What? I'm gonna roll that back. I need to get the screenshot of her going, Ah.
下月先生と何かあったんですね。私のことを全部話しました。だから橘さんも話してください。
So, something happened between you and Miss Shimotsuki then. You know I've already told you everything about me, so spill already, Tachibana. Tell me everything. And I mean everything.
わかった。うん。話すよ。
Okay, fine, I will. This time, it's my turn to fill her in on everything that's been going on in my life. I'm a little reluctant to share the details of Mirei-san's life, but I go ahead and tell her all but the most personal parts. I start with us going to the festival together, Mirei-san's confession to me in the park afterwards, and how I turned her down. I explain how everything Mirei said to me when she initially dumped me was a lie, and how she no longer had any reason to keep up that lie once her mother died. Shiori hears me out without taking so much as a single sip of her drink, and then she gives a small nod.
ごめんなさい。何かあったという言葉は軽すぎました。私もやっぱり自分のことばっかりしか考えていませんでした。
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything without knowing the facts. I was, as usual, only thinking about how it affected me.
うんうん。しおりには分かりようがないし、何より今のは私じゃなくてミレイさんの話。しおりの言葉は私が受け取るものじゃない。
No, there's no way you could have known. Most of what happened had more to do with Mirei-san's situation than mine. If you owe anyone an apology here, it's not me.
はい、わかりました。下月先生に思ったいろんな感情は私の胸の中に留めておくだけにします。
Okay, I understand. I think I'd better keep my feelings regarding Miss Shimotsuki to myself.
うん。きっとそれしかできないんだって思う。しおりだけじゃなくて、私も。
Yeah, that's really the only thing you can do. That goes for me as well. I turned Mirei-san down. I'm in no position to do anything more for her now. Anything we say moving forward will only cause further damage to her pride.
ただ、一つ確認したいのですが。
There is one thing I'd like to know, though. Shiori takes on a more serious tone of voice. Since I've already told her everything I could, I find myself on the wrong foot, having no idea what's coming next.
昨日、いえ、もう一昨日になりますけれど、橘さんが持っていた牛も茶はもしかして下月先生とお祭りで取ったものですか？
You gave me a mocha plushie yesterday. Well, more like the day before yesterday now. Did you happen to get that for me while you were at the festival with Miss Shimotsuki?
うん。射的でゲットしたやつ。
Oh yeah, I got it at the shooting gallery. Bang bang!
牛も茶を撃ったんですか？
So you were shooting at her?
そうだよ。射的だし。
Yeah, that's how shooting galleries work. Bang bang.
牛もちゃを撃ったんですか？
You shot Mocha?
え
Bang bang?
なんて。牛もちゃを撃ったのは重罪ですけれど、聞きたかったのは別のことです。
Just kidding. I mean, shooting Mocha is a serious offense, but that's not what I wanted to ask you. After casually dealing with that matter, she continues, with a smile, looking at me with a smile.
立花さんが以前おっしゃっていた、まだ言えていないことって何だったんでしょうか？
You mentioned before that there was still something you needed to talk to me about. What was it? My heart immediately jumps into overdrive, and this would be the part where I would switch to that other voice thing, but I'm not going to do it. When she said that my words were what led her to confront her father, I figured that was the last I'd hear of them. So the fact that she's bringing them up again now leaves me completely flummoxed, because the thing I still need to tell her is something that will be revealed in the next episode of UsoNatsu. Oh, I moved too fast. Neon is now dizzy. Wow, really? That was... wait. Light mode, dark mode. Light mode, dark mode. Light mode, dark mode. So we still got 5 more. Man, I thought for sure we were gonna get some more than this. But okay. Okay. Anyway, thank you all for watching this episode of UsoNatsu. I thought about cutting it off. I was checking periodically about how long we've been going. But there just wasn't ever a good point. I thought that... I kept thinking, like, I'll cut it off at the next part, and then I'll cut it off at the next part. And then they had the thing where they went and they got more snacks and we transitioned into the sky, and I really should have stopped the episode there. But, yeah, no, instead we'll stop it here. Because, this seems like the close to the best spot that I'll be able to stop this episode for now, at least. So, next episode, we will find out just what it is that Kaoru has to tell Shiori. Except we all know. We all know. You know? It's a little like, does he know? Yes, we do know. We've been new. We've been new. So, with that being said, yeah, that's it. I assume next episode will be the last episode. Exciting! Exciting! Episode 23! The finale! Exciting! And I will see you all next week. Hopefully this next part isn't like really short. I mean, for all I know, we could be going for like another 2 episodes. But thank you all for watching up until this point in this episode and up to this point in this series. You know, we've been at this for a while now. Just real quick, I don't want to go for too long since I feel like this is a nice concise ending. But when was the first episode of UsoNatsu? Let's scroll back all the way 4 months ago. That's crazy, you know? So, with that being said, thank you all for watching this episode of UsoNatsu. I will see you all next time, and as always, Visual Neon!